activities. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टति कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So let's read the verse. Sandhyaman sarvanga esham udvahanandina karotyavirtam mudo duritani durashaya. Sandhyamana sarvanga esham udvahanandina karotya aviritam mudo duritani durashaya. Anybody wants to repeat? Synonyms: Sandhyamana, burning; Sarva, all; Anga, his limbs; Esha, these family members; Udvahana, for maintaining; Adhina, with anxiety; Karoti, he performs; Aviritam, always; Mudha, the fool; Duritani, sinful activities; Durashaya, evil-minded. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society. Purport. It is said that it is easier to maintain a great empire than to maintain a small family, especially in these days when the influence of Kali Yuga is so strong that everyone is harassed and full of anxieties because of accepting the false presentation of Maya's family. The family we maintain is created by Maya. It is the perverted reflection of the family in Krishna Loka. In Krishna Loka, there are also family, friends, society, father and mother. Everything is there, but they are eternal. Here, as we change bodies, our family relationships also change. Sometimes we are in a family of human beings, sometimes in a family of demigods, sometimes a family of cats, or sometimes a family of dogs. Family, society, and friendship are flickering, and so they are called asat. It is said that as long as we are attached to this asat, temporary, non existing society and family, we are always full of anxieties. The materialists do not know that the family, society, and friendship here in this material world are only shadows, and thus they become attached. Naturally, their hearts are always burning, but in spite of all inconvenience, they still work to maintain such false families because they have no information of the real family association with Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापत्कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य. I should honestly not be sitting here and speaking with all the exalted devotees. Prabhuji, please bless me. I have no qualification to be sitting here and speaking. Absolutely, and you know that. It is just Prabhuji has asked me, and that's why I'm going to try and speak. This is a little difficult verse, and as it is, I have no realization. This verse is even harder because I'm hell bent deep down in Grahastha life. So I think this is Krishna's way of choosing particular verses to be spoken so that when you speak, something will go in your own mind. So I take it that way and I seek all your blessings. Please bless me that I'm able to repeat the words of our acharyas and glorify Srimad Bhagavatam in an appropriate way. So basically in this verse, the mentality of a Grihamedhi is being described. So we know the two classifications. One is a Grahastha, one is a Grihamedhi. So a Grahastha lives with family, husband, wife, mother, father, children, they live. But when they live in the family, they come together to live in the family. But the real purpose of living is to develop their Krishna consciousness, to understand their real entity, their identity. But for a Grahamedhi, the center of attraction, the focus revolves around the house, the external activities, children, and all the other things. So when a Grahastha comes together, the Grahastha family does everything centered around Krishna. Like long back, I remember when I was in Illinois, that's where when I started my Krishna conscious journey. I had a senior Mataji. She was very kind to me, and we had a discussion over phone, and I was trying to understand this point. What does it mean to be centered around Krishna? So she gave me a very nice example. It still stayed with me after so many years. She told me, Mataji, supposing you buy a car. Now, if you buy a car thinking that this car, everybody needs a car. In US, you cannot survive without a car. So, if you buy a car thinking that this car is going to serve my purpose of dropping my children to school, and I will be able to comfortably go buy groceries, go to my job, and everybody will see what a nice car you have bought, then that is material consciousness. But if that same car you buy with the intention, okay, I'm buying this car with Krishna's money and I'm going to use it in the service of Krishna to drop my children to school, to buy groceries, my children whom Krishna has given me to bring up and develop them in Krishna consciousness. I'm going to buy these groceries and cook bhoga with it and offer the bhoga and eat prasad with all the devotees. Then that same car doing the same thing, that is a spiritual investment rather than a material investment. So just that thought came to my mind that this is how a Graha Medi and a Grahasta's thoughts are different. And this verse completely talks about the mentality of a Graha Medi. So I was thinking, supposing, not supposing, we all need to work, right? Whether it's a Graha Medi, it's a Grahastha, or in any ashram we have to work. Nobody can say, I cannot work. Now, when we are working, there has to be something that we are getting out of that work. What is that one thing that anybody works for, we get? Like, what is that? Radhika is answering money. But not always money, Radhika. Think more. Yes, money is there. But work, any work that we do, what do we get? What is that one thing that we work for? Happiness, synonym of happiness, Mataji. Satisfaction, exactly. That was the word I was looking for. Satisfaction. Jai Jai Shri Radha Gopi Jan Vallabh Bhagwan ki, Nitayapati Palandwar Hari ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So whenever we work, that is the one thing that is the riding factor behind any work, and that is satisfaction. Now, this word satisfaction has a very important significance in bhakti, right? Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that verse, right? Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakte radhokshaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So, what is that param dharma? What is our param dharma of any individual? Is to attain loving devotional service to the Lord. And this devotional service should be uninterrupted and unmotivated to completely satisfy the self. So I'll be using some shlokas from the Shastras. Just because I am not pure, my words will not have an impact. But when I'll be trying to repeat the words, it will go deep in the heart because they are in our scriptures. So in this verse, it clearly mentions that our param dharma is to attain to loving devotional service, and that is the only thing that can satisfy us. So this comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. And what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Same thing. There is a parallel in Bhagavad Gita. Little different. Another one. Machchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathiyantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Tushyanti, happiness, satisfaction. So what is Krishna saying? The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are completely surrendered to me and they derive great satisfaction and bliss in conversing about me. So this again, satisfaction. Satisfaction is the one that keeps us in doing any work. But the complete satisfaction to the self only comes when there is loving devotional service. That is why, same classes, same chapter, same Damodar Leela, same Krishna coming, Putana killing, same thing every year, year after year, same audience also, many times, and the same speaker also. But still there is no satiation. Why? Because Krishna says this is the reason everybody derives great bliss in conversing about me. Like so many times in every year, every year in our Sunday school, we have a child stays in one class for 3 years. There is a gradual increase, but a child stays in one class for 3 years, and then for every festival, the story will not change. So the same child at the age of 5, at the age of 6, at the age of 4, 5, and 6 has heard the same story. They might even, in between add fill in the blanks. No, Mataji, this also happens, that also happens. But the enthusiasm to hear in that child, this proves the point what Krishna is saying. And anything and everything written in our Shastras is perfect. We don't have the eyes and the ears. I'm talking about myself. I don't have the eyes and the ears and the heart to see. But it is not false. That is there. So there is no satiation in hearing about Krishna. But then at the same time, anybody whose aim is not pure devotional service, some other attachments, they are setting themselves up for failure. Why? Because your heart will not be satisfied. You will not feel happiness in what you are doing. Right? Now, those attachments could be anything. It could be family, it could be money, it could be name and fame, it could be anything. It's not these are false, but these are temporary. This is not false. The material world is not false, but it is temporary. So when we are running behind the asat things, then we are on the bodily platform, right? And that is why Krishna also advises Arjuna in that, what is that famous shloka? I forgot. That the one which talks about happiness and distress, Shitoshna Sukha Dukha. The Matra Sparshastu Kanteya. Matra Sparshastu Kanteya, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada, Agama Payino Nityas, Tam Titikshasva Bharata. So this non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress is just like changing seasons, summer and winter, and they arise from sense perception, right? Because we are on the bodily platform, we get attached, and instead of seeing, because we are on the bodily platform, we are attached to the body and the relationships which are on the body. We do not see the soul behind, we do not see Krishna behind. So in that case, there is always distress. There is never complete satisfaction. So now we all have attachments, right? And we also understand that these attachments are temporary. So the natural question should arise then, what should we really be attached to? Right? That's a genuine question we should ask ourselves. Okay, we are attached to temporary things. What is the permanent thing? So many times in our classes, we have heard when we come in front of the Lord, we don't know even how to pray. So we should recite the prayers of our seniors. We should recite the prayers of pure devotees. Like when we come in front of Radha Gopijan Vallabh, look at their beautiful feet. Like if we meditate on that lotus feet, so commonly we say, right, lotus feet. But if one day I was just thinking, maybe next time whenever I'll be able to see a lotus in real life with my own eyes, probably I'll be able to relate. Because so casually we are used to speaking lotus feet of the Lord. And look at the really lotus feet of the Lord. That is why in Bhagavatam it is said, right? समाश्रिताये पाद पल्लव प्लवम महत् पदम पुण्य यशो मुरारी भवान बुद्धिर वत्स परम पदम 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 यत विपदाम न तेषाम. So our aim, our goal should be that param padam, which is Vaikuntha, where there is no kuntha, not this material world where there is danger at every step, because it's so dangerous. Like this verse talks about anxiety. Everybody is always in anxiety, and who can give us who can free our distress is when we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. It's easy to say, but it's also easy to be done when we just keep this thought that, my Lord, I'm trying to take shelter of your lotus feet. Please help me. So, in the same lines, when we talk about attachments, there is a nice story in Bhagavatam. We have all heard that story of Chitraketu Maharaj and his wife Kritadviti. Chitraketu Maharaj had 10 million wives, and the eldest wife was Queen Kritadviti. And Maharaj Chitraketu, he unfortunately or fortunately, I know I'm not in a position to say, he did not have children. So one day Angira Muni pays a visit to Chitraketu Maharaj. Now there are many lessons to be learned from Chitraketu Maharaj's story. I will not be talking about those lessons, but quickly, briefly, we'll go through the story. So Angira Muni comes to Chitraketu Maharaj, and pure devotees, they are pure devotees for a reason. They know everything. So when he looks at Chitraketu Maharaj, Angira Muni could have spoken about the self, could have given pure knowledge to Chitraketu Maharaj. But Angira Muni does not speak anything. In fact, Angira Muni asks Chitraketu Maharaj about, okay, how's your family doing? How are your the members of the uh, kingdom doing? And all those questions he asks just to open Chitraketu Maharaj, and then he says, your face is looking very morose. Why are you so sad? What has happened? And Chitraketu Maharaj nicely answers, I know you know everything, but you just want to hear from me. So yes, I am distressed because I don't have a son. That is what Chitraketu Maharaj says. And out of compassion, Angira Muni says, okay, I'll do a yajna for you and you will get a son. But let me tell you, the son will be a reason for your happiness and distress. And before even, waiting for Chitraketu Maharaj's reaction, Angira Muni leaves that place. And in due course of time, the wife, Kritadviti, she begets a son, and this child is born. And obviously, when we wait for something for a very long time, and after a difficulty, when we get something, we cherish that. Same way in bhakti, So that's why when we see our seniors, our acharyas, how much love and sincerity and devotion they have towards bhakti, that at least I can say I don't have. Why? Because everything is given to me a silver platter. The Shastras are written, the holy name is given comfortably, temple is given. My house is, by Krishna's mercy, my spouse is very supportive, my children are supportive. I'm able to chant Krishna's. So I don't have that hankering, that longing, that thing that I have been given something so precious. But in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj and his wife, he was longing for the son. So when the son comes, there is all happiness, there is immense love towards the child. And the wife is completely in awe of the child, always thinking, doing, taking care. Chitraketu Maharaj also. But remember what Angira Muni says? This child will be the reason for your happiness and distress. And Chitraketu Maharaj thinks, what distress? What can a child give distress? Maybe will not listen, maybe will be not respectful, things like that. But anyways, after a few days, the other queens, the co-wives of Mother Kritadviti, they start feeling jealousy because Chitraketu Maharaj is spending time with the son, with the wife who has got him the son, and there is a lot of dissatisfaction among the other wives. So, out of jealousy, they poison the child and kill the child. Such a heinous task to do, but it happens. And again, anything written in our Shastras is there for a reason. We'll think this is so bad. How can somebody do that? But there's a reason for that. So when the nurse, the maid of Kritadviti, she comes and sees the child is dead. She starts crying, lamenting. The mother comes, she also cries and laments, and everybody in the palace comes to know about it. And Chitraketu Maharaj comes running from the assembly. And when he comes running, the Bhagavatam describes on the way he falls 3-4 times. So you can imagine, kind of a madman state he comes. And he's wailing and he's crying and he's telling the Lord, if you had to take him, why did you give me the son? That's a natural reaction that Chitraketu Maharaj represents, because it's the most painful thing for any parent to go through is the death of their child. And at that very moment, when all these emotions are coming out, Narad Muni and Angira Muni again come to the place. And by the way, the name of the child is Harshasho. So they come, and he is crying and wailing, and he speaks to Angira Muni and Narad Muni that why did the Lord have to do this? And out of compassion, Narad Muni brings back the soul and tells him, you left this body prematurely. Look at your parents. They are in such a pitiful situation. They are crying so badly. Why did you leave? And the answer that the child gives, the soul gives, is befitting in that situation. He says, I have taken many births. In one birth, my parents were some animal. In another birth, they were some reptiles. In another birth, they were some birds. And in one birth, they were humans. So which parents are these? Which number of parents am I talking to? Hearing this, Chitraketu Maharaj and the wife of Chitraketu Maharaj, they are shocked. But at the same time, because it's a painful situation, still their eyes open and they realize, so this is temporary. The children, the relationships based on our family, on our body are all temporary. And Chitraketu Maharaj, then Narad Muni, speaks to Chitraketu Maharaj, because now Chitraketu Maharaj is in a state of mind to take spirituality. In the beginning, when Angira Muni came, he was not in a state to take it. But now he's in a state to take. So he talks to them, and Chitraketu Maharaj understands. Finally, Narad Muni leads back to Brahmalok, and Chitraketu Maharaj offers prayers, beautiful prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam by Chitraketu Maharaj, and he offers those prayers to Shankarshan. Then Lord in the form of Shankarshan comes, and he himself starts explaining about himself to Chitraketu Maharaj. So now somebody may think that okay, so Chitraketu Maharaj understood, and somebody can wrongly take this verse. So we are all living in this material world, and most of us are here are grahasthas. So does that mean a grahastha family life is bad? Like we hear from this, and then we think, okay, so this is too much attachment, too much maya. I cannot take it. Should we just leave our family, or should we become detached? Or should we stay attached? This doubt is always there, right? So, like, I was just thinking, if Krishna, if Grihastha life was so bad, Krishna had his mother, father, his friends, everybody. If nobody is bounding Krishna, right? He could have also come alone. Did he come alone? No. He came with his mother, father, cowherd friends, teacher, like all relationships that are there in this material world, they are there in the spiritual world also. But the difference is everybody in the spiritual world is working closely together with the aim to serve Krishna. Right? Here, when the focus is taken away from Krishna, that is the problem. Like we say, right, in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what it is said, that this material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, right? 15.1. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna only says, Urdhva Moolam Adharshakam Ashwatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Vedavid. So this material world, all the attachments in this material world are compared to a banyan tree. You know how big a banyan tree is, right? But somebody who is entangled in these attachments, they are actually jumping from one branch of the banyan tree to another branch, right? So that we have to understand what is the core. Our body is given a vehicle to us to perform devotional service. Our family life is given to us in a conducive way to perform bhakti. These are helpful things. we should keep them helpful. So there's always a core and then there is support. So the core should be bhakti, core should be devotion, and these should be enhancements. They should help us as a family together. We should go forward in bhakti. That is that is what Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra telling us to do. And this knowledge doesn't come to us. This knowledge only comes when we start hearing. Only when we are hearing will this we will sink in. Otherwise, when everything is going on nicely, why would anybody take to spirituality? There is no reason. But then at the same time, only taking to spirituality when we are in distress, that is also not nice. Our family should be our support system, right? I was after marriage, I was listening to a class by my spiritual master, and one Mataji told me there's a very nice letter that Maharaj has written, and in that letter, it's addressed to the Grahasthas. And Maharaj says, whenever you look at your spouse, before you look at your spouse as your spouse, look at your spouse as my son entrusted to you under your care. And same instruction he gives to the husband. Whenever you look at your wife, before you look at the wife as your wife, remember she is my daughter entrusted to you under your care. So we are nicely taught, to respect devotees. But respect devotees starts at home. I'm speaking this and I'm also struggling heavily in this area. But whenever things become very difficult, I open that letter and read. And at least it pacifies my mind. Okay, Maharaj is saying this, I should do this. At least for some time, I become pacified. Again, the same cycle starts. But so the point is, Krishna knows our heart and Krishna knows how we are tuned. Not everybody can be a brahmachari. We are not at that level. So Krishna says, okay, you cannot come at that level, then come together as grahasthas and perform devotional service. Bring up your children in a Krishna conscious way. There is nothing wrong in that. But keep the core the core. That is very, very important. So more then again, when we are in devotional service, another point that comes to our mind is when we are in a family life, instead of taking our family life all in all, we should also try to see our family with Krishna, right? We have an eternal relationship with Krishna. We have a unique identity. Now, to understand that identity, what do we need? Anxiety? Desire? We need kripa. We need mercy. See, our eternal identity, where we belong to, that will be revealed to us in due course of time. And who will reveal that to us? Guru. Guru will reveal that to us through the holy name. So instead of being in anxiety, what is my eternal relationship with Krishna? Who am I? What is my service in the world? That is not there. That thought should be there. That the goal should be there. But running behind that should not be there. But also we should understand that it is revealed. It is revealed by the mercy of Guru, but only in the bhava stage. So Srila Prabhupada, I heard this lecture where Srila Prabhupada says, before you actually desire, you should deserve. So to deserve something, you should become qualified. And our whole process is to make us qualified. And again, qualification is not the only criteria. Mercy is the biggest criteria. Only when we get mercy of the Lord, mercy of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, can we progress in the right direction. So our aim should be there that, yes, my Lord, I am living in this family life, but I have a family with you there. I have my mother, I have my father, I have my children, I have my friends, I have everyone. But at this point of time, when I am in this family life, let me serve them, let me serve you along with them and move forward in the right direction. That should be our aim. And time will reveal. Guru will reveal to us our eternal position. Because, see, our process is so genuinely nice and so simple also. That line that is so apt in our devotion, that is, devotion is simple but not easy. It is an endeavor every morning to get up, to chant the holy names, to follow our regulation every day, day after day. Like how in this country there it's a big thing, weekend, Friday, oh the weekend starts, happy weekend, yeah. Like first when I came here, I didn't understand why are they so happy. Why do they say happy Friday? What is so special? They're like, okay, I will cook on Friday. I'll be cooking this weekend. So I was like, okay, but we cook every day. 3 times a day. I didn't say that because I felt they are sharing with so much enthusiasm. It must be something great. It's the regular cooking. So to carry on something day after day, months after months, years after years, requires mercy and dedication. Both things, the two fingers of our Damodar Leela, our endeavors and Krishna's mercy. So when we follow this process, it is simple, it is not easy. But all we have to do is like to make us happy. All we have to do is sing, dance, and feast. Nothing else. It's simple. Sing, dance, and feast. And Prabhupada says, why that is also we have to practice that. Singing, dancing, and feasting also has to be practiced. Because if we don't practice that, when we go back to Krishna, what will we be doing there? Singing, dancing, and feasting. So let us practice that. Let us practice singing, dancing, and feasting and chanting. Prabhupada did not say that, that's why everybody knows that when we chant the holy names, there is a struggle, but that word struggle is removed. Chant and be happy. Chant, struggle, and be happy. That struggle is removed, but that struggle is, where is there not struggle? In material world is not a struggle. Anything comes up, there is a struggle. Child is sick, struggle. Job not going well, struggle. In India, there are more struggles. Maid not coming, struggle. Work not happening, struggle. Clothes not ironed, struggle. There's struggle at every step. So chanting is also a struggle. Let's take it that way, but let us chant. That poem is there, right? The mind doesn't go, chant anyways. Cannot focus, chant anyways. Cannot sit, chant anyways. Big poem, like everything is covered in that. Bottom line is chant anyways. Chant and pray for mercy. So let us use, like I don't know what to say in this verse because I have really no realization on this verse, but only thing I can say, I'm very grateful to Krishna for giving me a family which is supportive in bhakti, for helping me to move forward. And my only prayer is blessings from all the Vaishnavas, that whatever ashram I am in this life, may Krishna allow me to practice my ashram faithfully, diligently, in a nice way, and move forward, taking the holy name. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Any corrections, comments, ideas, thoughts? Yes, Prabhuji.
First of all, I want to the comment that I want to make from the perspective is, if you can understand this, because so many cultures in the West, Americans not so much tied in the family anymore, but we all want to be independent and strong. But like I was in Mexico, and the family is everything. They'll protect my wife. The family can do no wrong, even if clearly they're wrong, still you support the family. And I was thinking, how do you explain this to somebody? That hey, you love your family, that's good. But also you have to realize you can't have them forever. So there's a little opening there for them to see something different. But the whole of at least American society is like, or, he was saying in this verse, find out it's temporary, right? So I remember when I got my first car, it was 1.5. I got in there, it was awesome. so bad. Then I got sad and I realized no day will be as good as this day right now. Because it's new. Then a week later, I didn't like getting that. That's the material energy. The more that somehow or other people have to see, it has to be brought to their attention. So my neighbor gets a BMW, I get a BMW. Neighbor gets a big house, even I get a bigger house. These things don't make it happen. And somehow to make somebody understand that you can do it, then you don't have to go to work with your grandfather. But yeah, this is an extremely important point. There's something else here. We don't know, maybe for new people, they don't know what it is exactly. There's a sense that the formula is not all there. Since I've been here since sister, I wanted to say that so many Americans were told about the American dream. Just work hard, you can do it, and just bring it back, and one day you'll be the president of that, maybe of the country, maybe the company, but it's a complete lie. The total illusion is designed to get us to work hard and stay in the system. It kind of reminds me of that. Part of the American travel fan is white people fan. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but when that's all there is, life is boring. At some point you realize, I'm 40 years old now, I have all these things, why aren't I? Better we listen to this. We'll save 20 years, minimum. Right, thank you for this.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Thank you, Madhu. Very nice class. I just wanted to make a comment. A few years back, I was in a class where a senior devotee was explaining that when Raghunath spoke for me was wanting to build in a family. It was mentioned a kugraha. That means technically bad graha. But Shastras explained, it is explained kugraha, meaning there's so much love between the family. There's so much love between the family members, and to live that is very painful, very hard, right? This is why it is mentioned. The road that I was explaining, as I mentioned from an American, background, he said, we really don't have to worry about this so much because we are already so fed up from our family. So to leave the family is not so difficult. So the scoop really doesn't apply to those who are really fed up with the family or not so much close knit. So for us, upon as you believe, keeping Krishna in the center, facilitating that job with everyone around whoever in our family, a better version of themselves. That's the idea. So we also don't fall into the trap of becoming themselves, having so much attachment among the family members and without Krishna.
Prabhuji, long back I heard a class by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu where he talks about detached parenting. And for many days I was thinking on that thing, and then I one realization that I got was it should not be only detached parenting. It should be detached relationships with everybody in this material world. So detached doesn't mean leave them. Detached doesn't mean no attachment. Detached means attached with Krishna in the center. That is detached parenting, and that's a wonderful class because many times, after few years in bhakti, there's always this doubt: am I moving in the right direction? Am I giving my 100% or not? So it's a very nice class.
How Bhaktivinoda Thakur being in Grihastashram, Prabhupada being in Grihastashram, how they have behaved. We always say, oh, this ashram. No, every ashram is equally potent to go back to God. Every ashram, Krishna had made this ashram for a reason. So, and the examples are there. So I really wanted to see if you can share some on that.
Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, I mean, I don't know, but Srila Prabhupada was exceptional when it came to relationships. He was such a good grahastha. He made sure his family was well maintained. He made sure his children were well. And see, we have a process, right? We have the ashrams for a reason. You follow brahmacharya, then you go into grahastha, then there is vanaprastha, and then there is sannyas. So we don't see that so much nowadays, but it is so nicely laid out. Actually, when this verse came to me, then only I started thinking, oh, so actually, devotees who plan that I will work till so many years, I will really work hard, but I will only work till 50, 51, 52. After that, I will stop working. And I always used to think, how is that possible? Like, especially for Prabhus, how is that possible? It is possible because they have a aim behind that. See, also I heard somewhere, like how Yudhishthir Maharaj left, right? When he leaves the palace, I don't know if I'm making the right connection, but somewhere I read, you are ready or not ready. There is a training. After a certain years, there is a training where husband and wife, they start traveling. The training is in the sense, you tell your family members, now you are grown up. Now you have to take care of the family because now you are good enough to take care of the family, but we have an eternal dharma also. So now we also have to leave. Now, when you are 30, 40 years into Grahasthashram, you cannot just get up and leave. It's not possible. It will not work. So what you do is you travel together to places. Like in Pune, I have seen devotees, they have made their house. They have purchased small houses, not only in Pune, in many places. Devotees have purchased small houses near the temple. Why to go about Pune? Here, in our ISKCON Farmington Hills, we have this whole community. The desire is that most of the devotees should be here close to the temple. Why? Because ultimately, what do we have? With the whole life, we cannot work. The whole life, we cannot be children conscious, money conscious. It because it's not going to. Why are we in bhakti? The aim should be clear. Why are we in bhakti? If that is not clear and we are not making progress in that direction, we are not taking our important decisions based on this question, is it supporting my bhakti? Then there is something wrong. Then it is superficial. So when the training is there, husband, wife together travel to holy places. And then they come and stay. Then they stay like guests in the house. And eventually, after some time, the husband says, okay, now please allow me. He takes full permission from the wife to take sannyas. So this is there. And Prabhupada also did, like, who does this? Going to a foreign land at such an old age, that time when foreign land was considered hellish. Who does that? If only we meditate on Srila Prabhupada's mercy on us and his compassion on us, our gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada and the process that we are in will rise multifold. The problem is we think about Srila Prabhupada, at least I'm talking about myself. I think about Srila Prabhupada and pay my gratitude to Srila Prabhupada only on Vyas Puja Day, or only when I'm seriously thinking about it. But every day when we say Jai Srila Prabhupada, it should be really Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada. Without you, where would I be? Without your compassion, where would I be? I don't know where I would be. I was in Illinois. It was the mercy of the devotees that the program was happening right in the clubhouse where I was. And I still remember the first statement that touched my heart. It's like a honey bottle. I can tell you hundreds and 100 qualities of honey, but until and unless you lick it, you taste it, you will not realize. Bhakti is that. Until and unless we taste the holy name, we will not get it. The taste has to come, but the taste will come with practice.
Thank you very much. We are Prabhus, they take pride in, um, and the growth in office. If you or the first program was analyst, then architect level. But later, they take pride, not in office, but the husband comes and says, you have done a great job. They take pride in that. They are very emotional. I'm the first one that the first time I understood it. And now that's a good idea. So many more. So much, I wonder if there's traveling and go back to part of the experience and the country. That is the topic. So, sometimes you can consult. But don't take it for granted. I'm sorry to experience that. One of the 7 incidents, you can read. Not having sleepers, not having money, not having money. Then why not having money? Mother is very attached to children. She is continuing the Dakula, and whatever reason. Still, because of the direction of the son, the mother continues. And she is always good at cooking. She goes and cooks and she eats. So the mother doesn't care. Still, and because of the affection for son, the mother continues. And therefore, father is there. Son doesn't take care. Daughter doesn't listen. You cannot go to the kitchen and cook. You need community of food. 9 o'clock should be with this. And then community of remainder. That's why it's considered movie. So rather than if we should make appreciation to do it, she's gone. Appreciate. When she's there, so I just need to class and say that work, we learn to own independence. Our freedom, range side, but what is like today? Like, you need that suppose we money over, we losing money over your mom, losing your children. I see the situation on the ground. I know for those other possibilities, so, and summarize on the appreciation. I want to understand. The world is in America, US is in one person more than still. Couple of years before. The groceries in India are more advanced than the country. So I agree with this. The groceries in India are more advanced. Because they give money, they take the temple, the solutions, and their service coming. What I said is, the exercise is services. The days of maintain more by those cash. Because it also anywhere the growth of the then they money, they come into the long also, they go children, they go to work. Unfortunately, what is going to challenge us and that very demanding of your job or the technology. So, when wife understands this, husband understands this, we are taking more load than we can because of the idea. That should not be frustration, but it should be gratitude. Thank you. Just every week, until you once genuinely to have a last time. Thank you very much. Because of the very let's say, if you start the program, all of them say thank you so much. Very good. Generally, I mean, in my life, I'm not saying personification wrong or personification wrong. I'm not saying the combination of both. And I'm in the same word. This is wrong and wrong. I think it's really massive. So, And at their level, rather than focusing on the quality of the ground, they focus on the quality of the ground. Because we are also like that. We want to find happiness flows. So when I'm like that, let me appreciate on the quality and it goes very far. There is an appreciation in that.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
And it should be. This is the concept.
Number.
Almost how many months?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
I'm grateful, Rohit. It was so